Taxes versus the necessities of life, the Canadian Consumer Tax Index. So this again is from the Fraser Institute. Summary: the Canadian Consumer Tax Index tracks the total tax bill of the average Canadian family from 1961 to 2023, including all types of taxes. That bill has increased by 2,705% since 1961. So that'd be a 27. That'd be a 27x.
Oh my God! What?
Taxes have grown much more rapidly than any other single expenditure for the average Canadian family. Expenditures on shelter increased by 2,006%.
Oh my God!
Food by 901%, and clothing by 470% from 1961 to 2023. The 2,705% increase in the tax bill has also greatly outpaced the increase in the Consumer Price Index, the CPI, which would be the inflation rate, basically, right? Which is 901%, which measures the average price that consumers paid for food, shelter, clothing, transportation, health and personal care, education, and other items. The average Canadian family now spends more of its income on taxes, 43%, than it does on the basic necessities such as food, shelter, and clothing combined, 35.6%. This is my personal experience as well. By comparison, 33.5% of the average family's income went to pay taxes in 1961. Still high, still fucking crazy.
Yeah.
In 1910, it was 3%.
Yeah. And what does it say there? While 56 went to basic necessities.
Yeah. Then there's probably 10% of funny money. You know, that's you just got 10% of your check you can blow every week. How many of you guys can blow 10% of your check every week? Most of you can't even afford to sign up for Plus, it seems. For AmericaOutloud.ca. In 2023, the average Canadian family earned an income of $109,235 and paid total taxes equaling $46,908. In 1961, the average family had an income of $5,000 and paid a total tax bill of $1,675.
Yeah, but hold on. Was that one person working in 1961 as well? I mean, I wish they would talk about the average family, right?
This is the family. So I'll tell you right now. This 1961 is a single income family, and this 109,000 is a dual income family.
That's what I'm saying, because that even seems high. 109. 109 for average seems very high.
Yeah, it's because most places have two family members working.
So so that would be, just to average it out, women and men, like a $55,000 job each, basically.
Yeah, the dude's making 80 and the chick's making 40 or something like that. You know,
dude, you have to get all misogynist again on us.
Hey, man,
I just tried to be,
You just tried to live in fairy tale land? I'm not going to go to fairy tale land. Let's be fucking honest. I mean, there's probably some situations where the chick's making 90 and the dude's making 30. Dude's a deadbeat. She can't get him off the couch. Let's be honest. In most situations, the guy's going to be the breadwinner for the most part. Introduction. Sorry if I offended you. I like the way you went down the middle on that one, Graham.
Yeah, I tried to, and he just slapped me upside the head there.
The Canadian tax system is complex, and there is no single number that can give us a complete idea of who pays how much. That said, the Fraser Institute annually calculates the most comprehensive and easily understood indicator of the overall tax bill of the average Canadian family. Tax Freedom Day, see Palio say 2024. This publication draws from those calculations and examines what has happened to the tax bill of the average Canadian family over the last 62 years. So here we are, 2023, income taxes. Average is 15,000. 31% of your taxes or your income taxes didn't exist 100 years ago. Well, they did.
What's a health tax? Payroll and health tax?
Payroll and health tax. Yeah, I don't know. Health taxes, bitch.
Sales taxes, property taxes.
Sales tax, I know where that is. You know, that's whenever you buy something at the store, right?
Yeah.
Property tax is a lot. Health taxes is a lot.
I don't know. What's
about the difference between payroll tax and income tax?
That's what I mean. Like, yeah. That provincial, maybe provincial, one's federal.
what is your standing to not know about the Fraser Institute's report?
My standing is I was an employee for 40 years, like working my ass off all
So
the time.
what don't you agree with?
The income taxes being only 31%.
Well, how much do you think it is?
It's like, well, when I was making 110 grand in the late 90s, early 2000s, which, I haven't made, I'm still making around the same, probably less now, but that
Less
was like, it was like 40%, 45% was our
Well, you're
tax
a single
bracket.
dude. You're not a family. You're not the average Canadian family. I pay.
Oh,
So if
yeah.
I was to add up all the taxes, it's probably. I don't think on my income tax. I don't even think I'm
Because
around.
the single,
I don't
go
think I'm
ahead.
at 31%. I think
Oh,
I'm.
because the single dudes get hosed with all because they don't get all the
Oh, dude,
credits and stuff.
my uncle Jacques, dude, pays 56%.
No way.
Yeah,
And and that's just not enough incentive to have kids in Canada either for some reason.
still not enough.
Okay, sorry to
So
derail it
property
here.
tax,
So
profit tax, liquor tax. That's just a breakdown of where there's the carbon tax, motor vehicle license taxes. So there's your average. Your total cash income minus your taxes, $46,000 a year is the average you're paying. Is the average tax bill for the Canadian family.
yeah, I feel that that's low, but I guess it is the Fraser Institute. I do trust them.
It's extremely close to my
experience, your lived experience.
Yeah, that's about because I pay about 30 grand, that's pretty close. It's real close.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so I don't think okay, wait, here we go. We did that already. Did we do that? We don't need to do that. Let's skip down to here.
Yeah.
So here's that tax sort of climbing up. This is the average consumer tax. Every year. It's just got to go up every single year. It goes up a little bit.
And the thing is, do you really think is your service, is your standard of not standard of living, even because that's not the right description or measurement, but is your service of the government, is it that much better? Is it that much more efficient? Are we getting that much many more programs that are helping us? I mean,
dude, the federal government has increased by 42% in the last 8 years, and every single thing they do takes longer and is a worse experience.
Actually, passport might be okay. I had a really good passport experience recently, so that was pretty good.
What was it though?
What
was the experience? Because it wasn't a good experience. It was just like a standard experience that seems like a good experience now. The passport should be 3 days.
Well, I said, look, there's no rush for this. I didn't want to rush it or anything like that without rushing, I didn't want to fake rush it, right? So I just said, I'm going in September, and they said, well, we're going to send it out on July 11th, which happened to be my birthday, and I got it before July 11th. And it was no wait in line. It was very easy to fill out the form. It was just an overall smooth experience. But I mean, that's the only example I have. And there's a lot of pressure on the passport system. You got it, because people seem to really.
They were terrible for a while.
Yeah.
And you're also going from the experience of having to deal with that in a large city to having to deal with it in a small town, which is probably a much different experience just on its own. You don't have a lot of passport renewal competition.
No,
I do. That being said, the last passport renewal I did was also not terrible. One way to gauge the significance of the increased tax bill on Canadian families is by comparing the evolution of the tax take with the average family's other major expenditures. Table 4 and Table 3 compare family cash income and total taxes paid with the family's expenditures on food, shelter, and clothing. It is clear that taxes have become the most significant item in family budgets. And that taxes have grown more rapidly than any other single item. In 1961, the average family spent 56.5% of its cash income to pay for shelter, food, and clothing. In the same year, 33.5% of the income went to the government's tax. So here's no, I don't want to go to that one. Here's a good one. Here's a very good chart.
Yeah, because I was going to mention that my problem with it too is that shelter, food, and food has also gone up quite a bit. Which
But there's your comparison. So shelter's gone up, maybe, it's gone up what, 15-fold compared to the 27-fold that
Yeah,
taxes
yeah,
have gone up.
yeah.
I mean, clothing has stayed relatively stable.
Well,
That's it.
but the other thing that I don't think that maybe was included in this report, maybe on purpose, but like there's other incidentals that we have to do. Like me and you should lay out a little budget here for people because you do need things like now a smartphone just to get a job. You need certain things now. You do need internet access. Sometimes you need a vehicle or at least a transportation cost. There's things that you probably didn't need in 61 that are
Yeah,
also added in there.
well, this is just for plebin though, just straight. This is just fucking
No, but
survival.
it is a pleb. Dude, you need a smartphone to survive. You can't even make applications.
Or won't they just give you one though?
What?
Like when I
No,
married,
you still have to have a program and all that. Like,
they got a program for like free internet in Calgary. If you're low income, you only pay $10 a month for your internet. They gotta have a mobile phone thing.
well, I don't know. I mean,
I don't know
don't
who. I don't know if it's the city or the government
yeah.
of Alberta, but me ultimately at the end of the day, me and you and
I mean, we paid ambulance. We have to pay $750 for an ambulance for our friend to pick him up off the floor.
50.
To drive over, pick him up off the floor of the parking lot. Okay,
Damn, that's double.
of the care home, because they wouldn't touch him because he's in the parking lot, and he just slid down and couldn't get up. So the ambulance had to come over. I wasn't there, but because it wouldn't have happened.
Man, that's expensive. Here it's only
so they just charge you $750 to pick him up off the floor,
and you can't get that back. I could claim that on my.
I'm not. I mean, I'm probably not going to pay it, but I'm going to fight it. But I mean, this is where we're at with when people talk about free healthcare and all that. Well, it's first of all, it's not free, but also there's all these other extenuating circumstances.
Here's your free healthcare rate here.
Like monthly prescriptions and stuff when they're not covered. Like unless you have insurance, none of that stuff is just free. It's not covered.
Correct. So here's I think that's all I got. Here's
that's a good one. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the other one there.